Good evening again, everybody, for video number 3 of PsychoStacker's journey through the stacking game. Right, well, I've got a bit of I had a bit of a delivery. It came yesterday. I'm still waiting on 2 more parcels and Royal Mail. It's not the issue of the senders, it's the issue of Royal Mail. One stuck in a post office in Warrington, I believe, and the other one is stuck in Preston. So happy days. Never mind, but it's not the issue of the senders, it's the issue of the Royal Mail. And I'm sure, like the Great West in America, the stagecoach will get through with the post. Anyway, on with this delivery. It's kind of it's an unveiling, but not an unveiling. It's a box opening, but not a box opening. It's like Dave style, I suppose. Now, what we've got here are 5 Bullion Baddies. Now these, if you don't already know about them, I actually got these got sent from Italy. A coin dealer over in Italy, and luckily enough I'd pre-ordered these. I like to get things pre-order. If you do it pre-order, I don't think a lot of these coin dealers, although you know they've been at it for years, they must have an idea, but they kind of pick a number out of the sky. They look at the price of silver at the time and then we'll add a little bit on. I don't know if the people who make these type of things, I don't know whether they get in touch with the dealers and give them a recommended pricing. I don't know, but many a time now I've managed to get in quite early on the pre-orders, and then all of a sudden when after they've sent it, it appears on the site now available, etc., and the price is astronomical. One of the prime examples would be if you go and have a look at Hobo Coins, which is an Italian site. Have a look for the Germanian ox. Now I got that for €300, 300 something euro. They're selling that for €1,200 now. So happy days to me, like. Not that I'm going to sell it anyway, but these, right, these Bullion Baddies, this is series 6, so obviously there's been 5 previous. I can't be bothered collecting them, but I'm not actually going to open these. And the reason for that is, I believe these are like Pokemon cards. I've been going through eBay and other areas where they've had the other series, and when they've opened these, all of a sudden they kind of lose the value because of what's inside. Now, I will stick up now a better description of what these are about, and therefore then you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. But because they're not open and you don't know what's in them, there are 1 or 2 rare ones, you see. There's one that's, I think they've only got about 25 that they've done. The naughty bit is the ladies that are on these bars, they have their bits showing, which, I mean, it's an expensive way of, you know, it's more expensive than buying a mucky magazine, I suppose, but get one of these, and then you haven't even got the chance of seeing anything mucky on it because you might have a nice. And a nice is the girl's got all the clothes on, so that's not very good, is it? So anyway, I've got 5 of them, and I don't think I'll be opening them because unopened, they definitely keep the value, and they've already gone up in price from what I've seen anyway, so I'm not really going to be losing anything. So, I mean, that's the kind of collector in me. I am a bit of a hoarder, I must admit. I've done it all my life, I've hoarded things. But anyway, that's them. But something else I wanted to show you, which is another one of my hobbies, actually, that I've been doing since... it would have been before 1970 anyway. But one of my other hobbies is metal detecting. Now, I know a lot of you are going to go absolutely crazy about this. Why have you got all your well, a selection? I'll say a selection because I've got far more than this. A selection of your metal detecting finds, which are like these are hammered coins. For those who don't know, But again, these were made to be handled. They're actually, you know, these would have been, I mean, that is a penny. That is an Edward penny, right? And this Edward penny, long cross, hence the long cross. And they put the long cross in to try and prevent people clipping them, because when they clip them, they take little bits of slivers of silver up, and then they make their own coin. So you might get 10 of them with little slivers off them, and that makes a full penny. So in a way, it's like counterfeiting, you know. So that's why they put the crosses on them, the long crosses. They were short crosses, but then they cottoned onto it, so stop people clipping them. So this one actually is in very good nick. I forgot what I was talking about now. Never mind. But I have, these were supposed to be, they're made to be handled. People, it's coinage. It's coinage. The good ones like this, I stick them in a wrapper. But the likes of, you know what I mean? That was a coin, believe it or not. I mean, look at that. Yeah, that was a hammered coin. And it's well goosed with wear. But still silver content. And these would have been silver. Now that's a decent one. A bit worn. But again, that's another Edward, I believe. But these are just some of my finds. Oh, I have got one. That's it there. No, that's not it. I'll try and find. I've got an absolute cracker. No, it's not in here. Oh yeah, there it is. Right. This is an Elizabeth I. Right? Elizabeth I had hammered coins. This is a milled Elizabeth I. And the year is, which if I can just see it on, I can't make out the year because I've got the wrong glasses on, which is there it'll be. If you can see that, I think that's a year. No, maybe not. But anyway, believe it or not, that's an Elizabeth I. And that poor lass, her coin, she was in power for so long, her coins are really wore. It's hard to get one with a decent image of her on. And that would have been a sixpence back in the day. By the way, 1 penny was like a day's work. That was a day's work back in the days of Edward III, etc. So 1 penny would get, and that would get you a loaf of bread and bits and bobs. Not a great deal, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I have got quite a few. This is a groat. This is 4pence. Again, Edward. It's Edward III groat. I have got 3 or 4 of these groats. Who's this one? This is George III. This is gun money. This is copper. Irish gun money. I know a little bit of the history, but not enough to make any sense whatsoever this evening. I'd have to look it up. Here's another one that's a love token. This would have been bent either side and then passed on by the fella to the lady before he went away, so that she could remember him by. A kind of reminder of him. Again, I think that one's George III as well. Quite common. Well, there's another one, a bigger one. Strange, isn't it, how they used to do that. This one is a Scottish coin, and this again, it's I think this is a Charles. I think. I do know. I mean, all of these have been through the portable antiquities. There's another Queen Elizabeth I. All of these have been through the portable antiquities. You've all been recorded, so. But I mean, as nice as they are. And I don't really want everybody to be thinking, oh, I get a metal detector now. Dave's shown us all this, so there must be a lot of stuff in the ground. Well, I'm telling you now, the silver to rubbish ratio, I mean, everyone's talking about the gold to silver ratio at the moment, aren't they? The silver and gold to rubbish ratio, well, the silver, must be about 6.5 ton of aluminium ring pulls and other bits of lead and rubbish to 1 silver coin. And that's really lucky. in our area, it's almost, I mean, there's a lot of years here, guys, mainly because our year is all pasture, our area is all pasture. So therefore, on ploughed land, it gets turned over all the time. So things of ancient history, things that are old, this is Shawcross, this is Henry the First, I think that one is. But things get turned over, so of course the history keeps coming to the surface. And back in the day, when I first started, a metal detector, the average depth the metal detector would go would be approximately 2 or 3 inch. So the chances of finding any of this sort of stuff, unless you're on ploughed land, was very, very minimal. I must admit, it was hard work. But these days, there's a what did he call them? Farthing. That's an Edward. Forget that. It's wrong. Because I've had them in and out of these packets showing people tag-lag. But that is, it is an Edward, but it's a farthing. So anyway, back on the fields. So the detectors, and they weren't very good at all for discriminating iron out and other rubbish, hot rocks. I don't know if you know about hot rocks, but they're like coke, you know, bits of embers and things like that. For some reason, they have like a magnetic field around them. So when you used to go over them, there's a silver sixpence. Is it a sixpence or a threepence? That's a threepence. Or fourpence. Silver fourpence of Elizabeth, Victoria, young bunhead Victoria. Yeah, so the discrimination was rubbish on them. These days, it's unbelievable. They're so fantastic, the metal detectors. They are more expensive, obviously. They weigh far less. Jesus, it was like carrying a 4-ton block round in your arm back in the day. Absolute nightmare. But these days they're so light you don't even know you've got a detector going. And the discrimination is absolutely fantastic on them. You can actually find something that size, about 6-7 inch deep now, something as big as that, and you could have a nail by it, and it'll ignore the nail, but it won't miss that. It'll pick it up. So this is probably why you're seeing a lot of these metal detecting videos, where people keep finding lots and lots of stuff. Now, one of the hardest things as well, before you go rushing out and buying a metal detector thinking you're going to find treasure and be rich, is asking farmers for permission for land. There's that many people these days asking farmers, and not a lot of farmers will let you on the land, to tell you the truth. So, if any of you guys on Stacker Social know any farmers or anything like that, I've got plenty of detectors and they're all good ones. I'm willing to come down and visit you, which would be a good day out actually. And all you need is a spade and some wellies and some warm gear if it's cold. But I'm willing to go out with you, show you how to do it. And if you tell me where you're at, this is another part of the secret, research. I'll do some heavy research on the area or on the farm itself. And there's a good possibility, especially these days, that you might find something like this Roman denarii. This was found local. Now everyone kept saying a long time ago that the Romans were in our area. Well, I'm telling you they were, because I've got a lot of Roman coins from around here, and so have a few other lads. And bracelets, and brooches, etc, etc. I've got there's a few decent finds that I've had, I'll tell you now, but they're in the museums. In fact, I'll put this up as well, so that you can all have a little read of it, but there's actually, I found a Chinese coin hoard, very local, and this Chinese coin hoard is the largest coin hoard in the UK that's ever been found. 107 coins altogether. In fact, the British Museum actually came up and they did a talk about it. They had a Chinese professor, a really nice lass. She was only a young lass as well, but she came to our local dock museum and did a bit of a talk and everything about it, and she'd done it was about 15 pages. She sent me a PDF file. So if any of you are interested and you get hold of us and swap emails and whatever, I can actually send you what's in this. It's quite interesting. And she believed that what these coins, they were 16th, 17th century, Qing dynasty, I believe. But she believes that these coins were actually, when the railroad workers, or something like that, she was saying he might have come with railroad workers because one or two Chinese came and helped with railway lines and things like that, didn't they? So, well, there's a threatens, or is it a ton? That's another bunhead. That will be, that's a tuppence, that one. Silver tuppenny bit from Queen Victoria. So yeah, she was good. Now, one of the best finds I've ever had in my life was this, and I'll put the information up on this as well. But this is a good one. If you take a look at that, what do you think of that? Do you know what it is or not? I'll put the information up. But this is a seal ring. And if you see, I don't know whether you can get it, but if you see there, that little cross, that was so they knew which way round to seal the letters and that. Now, they believed it was medieval, 14th, 15th century, and belonged to a merchant. Now, with it having the fleur-de-lis, I instantly thought royalty. It weighs about an ounce. There's about an ounce of silver there, believe it or not. But that, whew, you can just imagine how the heart went when I found that little beastie. I absolutely love it, though. And again, not treasure. I handed it in, and like you'll see the pictures that I've put up while I'm talking over them. But you'll see what they said about it and everything, and it just gives it back. Unbelievable. Now, something very special, guys. Now, remember what I said about the 6,500 tons of aluminium, etc.? Well, what about this? The gold to trash ratio is even higher. Look at that. Now, I'll put the information up on that because I found it tonight. I did in Stacker Social, I did put in the Stacker Social if anyone had any information on this. But no joy really. But then again, I'd taken a really bad photograph and I put a couple of bad photographs in, so I'm not surprised. But I managed to get on the antiquities tonight, portable antiquities. And the story behind it was, after I found it, obviously I couldn't detect anymore because I was shaking like a flaming leaf. And first of all, I thought it was a gold bottle top because you get plenty of them. And I was going to wang it. And then after I cleaned mud off, I just couldn't believe it. So, of course, I'm shaking like a shiting dog. But brilliant, absolutely. But that was it for me for that day. Couldn't detect. So I went and showed the farmer, told him it might be worth a bit of money, this, etc. And I always go 50-50 with farmers, which is another good thing, isn't it? So farmer benefits. So I said I'll have to take it to coroner, etc. Portable antiquities, this, that and the other. So I took it to police station because I didn't know who our coroner was. And they took it off me, took my name, address, everything like that. And about a month later, month and a half, I hadn't forgotten about it, but, you know, I hadn't bothered chasing it up or anything. They got in touch with me, did the police, and you come down to the police station and pick your coin up. I thought, oh, I'm getting it back. And said, yeah, they've done all the doing, etc., etc. Now, they didn't even get a valuation. They didn't get a valuation, etc. They didn't ask me loads of questions, nothing like that. They just handed me back. It's not classed as treasure. It's a casual loss. And I thought, casual, ooh, God knows how much that was worth in its day. That one, you know. And even though there were one or two rich people in the area during the medieval times, I don't believe there were many of these about. I've never heard of many of them being found anyway, 3 or 4 at the most. But that, so I didn't know what the value was. So it was like guesswork. And when was it? 1970. 1970 I found this with a knackered old detector. Don't forget that weighed like 4.5 ton. That only went 2-3 inch down, but luckily enough it was on limestone bedrock, so that the soil was only 3-inch deep, 2-inch deep, not even that, I don't think. Didn't take much finding anyway. So I was so lucky. But anyway, I went to the farmer, and I gave the farmer 300 quid for it, because I thought, you know, I had no clue how much it was, and the internet wasn't around for me then at all. So I gave him 300, and the farmer was over the moon. He even said to us, well, that's my field, this is my field, wanted me to go all over the flaming world, all land he had. Which again, fair enough. But in them days with the detector I had, he only lasted about 2 hours and you were knackered. Plus you were digging holes, you know, and real bedrock and everything you got to scrap through, and then you were finding tin cans and, oh God, it just kind of put you off in a way. But every now and again, when you found something, that was it, you got the bug back, as you can see. You know, I've never stopped for about a lot of years. I've got some cracking stuff, to tell you the truth. And I found this. Now this, I think it's about 4 or 5 grams when I weighed it. I'll have to weigh it again and find out. But there's no hallmark on it, right? 0 hallmark. Now, at the time, when I found this, at the time, it was anything over 300 years old, you handed into portable antiquities. So when I found this, because of the buckle on it, etc., well, that's not 300-year-old. Now, you know, didn't think it was that old anyway. Maybe Victorian at best, so I didn't bother handing this one in. But with it not having any hallmarks, it's definitely gold, guys. I've had this out in the open for so many years. It's been wet. So it's not brass. It's definitely not brass. And it's just got that way. It's definitely gold, and there's no way it's fake. It can't possibly be fake. So, but I think these were like added extras, maybe. So, you know, this is what kind of throws me. Was it Iron Age gold, and someone's made this out of it? I don't know, but that is definitely gold, and it weighs about 4 grams. And in today's prices, that little beastie could be worth a small fortune to me anyway. But it doesn't even go on my finger, so it's for a child. Now, a friend told me it might be a gypsy child money, because the gypsies, apparently they deal a lot with gold, etc. And our area did have 1 or 2 gypsies in it for many years. So there you go. That's about it for that. But that's just a little insight into another one of my little hobbies, besides making things, of course. Now, everyone's told me that this looks like Keir Starmer. Should it be Keir Starmer? I don't know. I'll let you work that one out. And this one here is a little war scene with some miniatures that I've made. And I made all of it. So what do you think of that one? And painted it. And painted that. This was done on a 3D printer. I actually paid for a grey resin 3D print. And so it just come grey, and I've tied it up a little bit, trying to make it look as real can be. But yeah, as soon as I seen that, I thought, that reminds me of someone. So what do you think of that? Anyway, guys, I hope I haven't bored you all too much. And if you're interested, just let us know, and I will show you a bit more stuff that I've found, along with the silver that I'm stacking, of course, or silver I have stacked. But I've got quite a few little hobbies you might be interested in, or you might not be interested in. It's up to you. Now, I've been told to say this, but I'm not. Listen, guys, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And I am more than happy for criticism. But I'd like it to be a bit constructive. What am I doing wrong? How can I do things better? Etc, etc. All nice-ish things. You can say it however you want. I kind of read between the lines and see what you're getting at. So it doesn't matter if you can even swear at me. You know, I'm not woke at all. Do what you want, say what you want. If I like you as a person, I don't give a rat's the way you are with me at all. I like you, not the way you are. Okay, guys. Again, signing off till next time. Thanks for viewing, watching, listening, or whatever else you're doing. Okay, have a nice rest of the evening. Probably tomorrow this goes up now. knowing my skills with video. Okay, bye-bye. PsychoStacker, Dave T on Social Stacker, over and out. I need to get one of them Social Stacker things that I can stick up on the end of the video. So if anyone from Social Stacker's watching that, if you can send me that, I will plug the hell out of it. Okie dokie, guys. Over and out, Dave.